I'm going to attempt to transform this lake into a beautiful, fully built village. I want docks along the shores, bridges stretching across the water, cozy homes tucked into the hills, and even a gazebo sitting right in the middle of the lake. Can I build it all in just 100 days? Let's find out. All right, we are in a brand new world in a lovely meadow-like biome, and we are gonna go and build ourselves a lake base. But before we can do said lake base building, we need to punch a tree. And I did want to mention that I added a really cool and beautiful GUI that has ducks on a lake, and I thought it was so perfect. So it is kind of different to get used to looking at it, but I think it's super cute. We have a little vine over our shield, we've got our regular things, but I just thought it was too cute not to try this one out. So let's quickly make ourselves a crafting table, and this is what the crafting table looks like, and I think it's so cute. The hanging flower is what makes us all of our different resources, so I just thought this was super cute. So now we have a pickaxe and an axe. Let's go collect up some stone from somewhere, and I will chop down the rest of this tree, and I have the fast chop mod, so that makes everything much easier. Speaking of easier, there's a nice little spot right here for us to collect up enough stone to replace our tools, and we'll also craft up a furnace. And I will collect up this coal here. Is it really one piece of coal? That is, oh, never mind. Okay, I was gonna say that is kind of sad and kind of funny. And I'm kind of peeking around, to see if we could maybe find some iron in here. I do have a night vision mod on, so if you're noticing how light all of these caves are, it's because for the sake of you guys being able to see things easier, I did add that, so I need to make sure a skeleton or a zombie doesn't spawn. But let's collect up all this iron. Now, as far as where we're going to be basing, I already picked out a little lake that I want to use for our base, so we are going to be doing some traveling quite a distance. So as we are traveling, I'm going to be keeping an eye out for any of the resources that I need to build our cute little lake base. And with the last bits of the coal here, we can continue exploring. Now, as far as what I'm looking for next, I really need to find sheep. Actually, let's be civil about this. This is what the furnace looks like. You literally put the coal on top of the campfire, and then inside it like smelts it up and puts it on a little, I don't even know what you would call this, a little platform, but I just think it's so cute. And then look, we have a little kitty cat. And then we've got the little guidebook and everything. I think it's actually so cute. And we can craft a bed, so we've got that. We've got our iron, we can upgrade our pickaxe. We'll also upgrade our axe. And we can toss away all of our old supplies and go to sleep for the very first time in this world. And now that we're well rested, it is time for us to collect up all of our items and start heading out towards where I'm going to base. But I might grab some cherry, and it looks like there's some other wood types. I do need to collect pine, so I want to figure out where pine is. And also, if you'll notice these pink lakes, there's some special mods that I added, and one of them adds some cool lake effects. So let's go collect up some cherry wood, and I will show you what the lake does. And of course, we gotta collect up some petals because they're so cute. And I'm getting distracted because I found some extra Serene Shrubbery flowers, and we got an advancement. Collect a wildflower from Serene Shrubbery. We love it. These are so pretty and gonna look so cute around my lake village. I'm so excited. I also need food. Sorry, cow. Ooh, but there's a pink lake. And I'm sorry, sheepies. I was saving yourselves with the shears, but now I need the foods. I'm terribly sorry. Ah, yes, now we can sprint again. That feels good. Now, one thing that's super cool about these lakes is they have different potion effects. So this one, if you notice, is regeneration, which is so fun. So now I've got the regenerative particles, and all of these lakes and these little ponds last for about 30 seconds. So all of them are about the same amount of time, but unfortunately there's a glitch in the mod where I cannot take a normal bucket and pick it up. I was really hoping that I could make cute little pink lakes in my area, but that is not the case. So in case you were wondering, that is an unfortunate thing about the mod pack, but I did want to show you guys, I do have a fishing booklet, which we are going to be able to collect up a bunch of fish, get some custom fishing rods, and some goodies from fishing itself as rewards. So I wanted to just make note of what was already in my inventory starting out, since I hadn't mentioned it before, but we do just get to carry a cute little fishing notepad with us, and I think it'll be pretty cool once we set up our docks, set up a little fishing hut to just be able to start collecting and filling out all of these different fish and the rewards we get. And speaking of things we get, let's collect up a ton of this pine wood, because this is going to be one of our main building blocks besides oak. I also am going to be using a lot of mangrove for the builds, so we have to, yeah, go find mangrove somehow, and I have a feeling, because I have Biomes of Plenty on, that it could be really difficult to locate it. So we'll just see about that one. I did notice that there is a pillager outpost, so I think we're gonna go check this out and see what goodies we can find. I say this all the time, but I get so easily distracted in this game because there's just so many cute things. So I need to try to stay focused because it is already the night of day 2 approaching. So we just need to, yeah, make, oh, wait, waystone, hey. Speaking of me getting distracted, I will gladly take a waystone. Thank you. Ooh, and here's the goldenrods. These are some of my favorite flowers. They do look very similar to the barley, which is why I was kind of confused at first. Let's grab some of these. We'll bring these. I like how they look like wheat as well. It's just so pretty. Before we go too far, let's make ourselves a shield. Hello. How's it going? How you doing? Not today. Oh, did that ricochet? That's cool. Ah, that was my first monster. That's so funny. Okay, let's go up here. And top, nobody. Love that. Ooh, some trims. That's kind of fun. Potatoes. We'll take some potatoes. Well, that worked out. We were able to get some armor trim. Which ones did we get? We got the sentry armor trim, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. So now we've got a long, long journey, so let's grab these sheep and keep exploring. Oh, I'm being followed! Watch out, sheeps! Excuse me, sir, that's my cue to keep on going, dodge and weave. Oh my gosh, how far are these guys gonna follow me? Hello? I actually need to make sure I look where I'm going, otherwise we could just fall into a pit, which I'm not about. Whoa, look at this. This is quite the terrain I have to traverse, but look. Okay, let me go into free cam. Wow, look at these mountain ranges. That's so cool. Oh, I love the terrain in Biomes of Plenty. Oh, wait. Okay, we're going there. I didn't even see that at first. Ooh, more iron. We will take that. Instead of doing the puzzle, I'm just gonna be cheeky. We're gonna go around the puzzle and see what we got. More iron. For actually being a jungle temple, this wasn't too bad because usually you just get bamboo and like rotten flesh, so I'll take it. Then we can sneak our way out of here, and where's my map cords? Okay, we need to go this direction. So we are heading northeast, so we got a long ways to travel, but that paid off. More iron, we'll gladly take that. We then slept through the night into day 4 and then made our way over towards the village, and then we spent time looting the village for the different resources that we wanted to grab from it. And looky here, we've got some leather armor that we can put on, but I kind of want to dye it because that seems kind of fun versus just this. And I think I want to try pink. Yes, Look at that. That's so fun. Ugh, I do really enjoy playing with leather armor because it's just so fun. Like, look at this. Fashion. Also, comment below if you got that reference. And if you do get the reference, you are a true OG to my channel. And let's see here. There we go. We got... Oh, we're actually pretty close. 400 more feetsies? Not too bad. I can't wait. So let's get over there. Oh! Yeah, okay. I got a little too excited about that. Okay, watch for the holes, Red, please. Ooh, look at this biome. The bayou. Oh, the Spanish moss. That's so pretty. Ugh. I'm obsessed with biomes of plenty. I love exploring and seeing really cool biomes like this. It makes it so much more fun. Look, there's a frog. Why is there a frog? Is it the bayou? Oh my gosh, so cute. Hi, buddy. Okay, I need to sleep. And the morning of day 5, we continued trekking through the different biomes until we finally made it to our lake. Oh, look at this. This is what the shape is. We are going to dig this out even deeper so that we will be able to have a nice deep lake to go fishing. And I think this is going to be so cute. I'm so excited. All right, we're going to set our spawn, our crafting table. We'll get some furnaces going and we'll add our waystone. And we will call this our lake home. I think that's kind of cute. We've also got a chest so we can put all of our items into it. I'm gonna quickly grab some stone. We'll craft up a hoe and we will start planting our potatoes along the edge here so that we can have a food source started. And we'll grab some seeds from our little wheat plants as well. And we've got wheat seeds all planted. There we go. We've got wheat and potatoes growing. Now, for our starter house, I actually wanted to have it be right where these trees are. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna chop down all of these trees, terraform this, and flatten this a bit. We'll add in a retaining wall, and then this is where our starter house is going to be. And then I thought about putting our mining entrance next to that. But this is gonna be a lot of clearing, a lot of terraforming, so let's get into it. And before we actually get going, we're gonna plant all our sugarcane so this can start growing as we start working on clearing and terraforming. And even though it is raining, hello, now that is a floating tree. I was gonna say though that we have our area all cleared out for our starter house to go over here, and then I'm going to add in a retaining wall here, and then this is where our mining entrance is gonna go. Now we're gonna sleep really quick to get rid of the rain, and then we are gonna go looking for mangrove. Wish me luck. And on the morning of day 8, we grabbed a waystone, we grabbed a bunch of hay bales for food, our crafting table, and our bed, and we were on our way looking for a mangrove. I love this water mod so much. It's so cool. I'm like so happy that I added it. And just like seeing everything like splash is just so cute. I love it. Even if it is a little bit more modded than usual, I'm a big fan. Speaking what else I'm a big fan of, look at the ferrets. Hi guys. Oh, I can't remember how to tame them, but they're so cute. Now it doesn't seem like there's a lot in this village that I would want. We've got some wheat seeds. That's it. Oh, there we go. Carrots. I did want some carrots. And I think we'll just grab some of these hay bales and then we'll be on our way. I'm trying to figure out what's a good biome to go towards. This is a floodplain that seems kind of swampy, some overgrown greens, shrublands. We got a long way to go, but going through some lavender fields should be kind of nice. So we spent the next bit of time traveling through orchard biomes, lavender fields, traveling through more forests. We then came across another village and looted that. And with nothing else interesting in the village, we continued exploring. Ooh, we found dark oak. I don't know if I'll want it, but oh wait, here's another one of the pools. This is a jump boost one. Wait, let's take a little dip. Ready? Woo-hoo-hoo, we've got jump boost. Woo, it's so fun. Oh my gosh, I love this. It's so random to have these potion lakes, but I just think it adds a little fun feature to a lake. 100 days is just getting some extra jump boost for a little bit. But I think I am going to try to grab at least 4 dark oak saplings while we are here, just in case, so we don't have to come back over here. Oh look, there's some llamas in this biome. That's kind of fun. And I did see some iron, so let's collect up some of this around here. Oh, there's more. Wait, hang on. Oh, this could be a good little patch to collect some iron. Okay, I might quickly get momentarily distracted because more iron is good, because then I can have some actually good armor, even though I do like our fashionable pink armor. It's just not very strong. With 21 iron collected, we continued exploring through different biomes, hoping that eventually we'd come across a mangrove. But instead of mangrove, we found some mossy cobble and emerald ore. I also found some moss. Oh, hey, portal. And we got obsidian. Mending chest plate. Oh, that could be nice. I will take the obsidian though. As we continued exploring, we finally found a biome that had spruce saplings. Come to me, my precious spruce. Let me get all the saplings. Yeah. We then came across another village and looted through that. And so we went through biome after biome until we came across a rainbow forest, or as Biomes of Plenty calls it, an auroral garden. Will I get a special sapling from you? Oh! I do get a special sapling. Oh, that's so cool. Ooh, look at that. That's a swamp. This must mean we're close, right? Also, wait a second. Mangrove. Wait. Can I just... Oh my gosh, that's 1 log. Okay, I need to find an actual mangrove because otherwise this is gonna be awful. Wait though, we've got swamp. All right, let's keep going. Let's go towards the swamp. Hope for the best. Oh, what are my mods? Look at it. It's a little duck. Okay, what's really cute about the duck mod is if I feed them cookies, like you would sitting by a park bench, not that that's the healthiest thing for them, but it's the mod, so don't get mad at me, but it will actually drop a different skin so that I can like customize the ducks to, so we can have like a mallard duck with a different color scheme. So that would be super fun, but let's focus on mangrove. This is taking forever. When will I be done? Ooh, village. Ooh, and ship. And what do we got here? We've got a treasure. This one, iron. We take the iron. We take the emeralds. And looky here, the village has a waystone. I love that. We can put that by the ducks. That's so good. Oh, there's more swamp. This is good, okay? More swamp, more better. Oh my gosh, guys. We did it. Look. That is the swamp. And all we had to do was keep going a little bit further. And we finally made it. Oh my goodness. This has been such a journey, but we did it. However, before I do anything, we are setting down a mangrove waystone so I can get home. Yay! And the fast shop mod is literally the best thing for this. I am so happy about it. And real quick, let's actually go home. Oh my gosh, I love waystones. Okay, we're going to put all of the blocks that we're going to be building with inside this chest here. So we're gonna use mangrove for the roof. Pine is what we're gonna use on some of the other builds. We're gonna be using primarily oak and mangrove, and then some different stone variations for the retaining wall. And back we go. All right, I've got 2 stacks and 20. I think for now that's good. So I'll toss these mangrove roots, and we've got some moss carpets, but let's go back and start building ourselves a starter home finally. Let's grab all of our oak wood and start building. Oh my goodness. Look who joined! There's 3 of them! Oh my goodness! Hello, look at you! Oh, and look at the water waves with them. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. Oh, I love that we have the otters hanging around here. Now all I need to do is get some of our little duck friends and we will be in pretty good shape for the animals. I also think it would be fun if we made a little otter enclosure, giving them lots of fishies to eat. I think that would be great. Actually, I don't even know if we have a lot of fish. I haven't seen any fish in here. Wait, what are those? An iron something. Oh, wait. 2 iron from the iron fish. That's crazy. Wait, can I give the iron fish to the otter? Did he get him? Oh, he ate it. That's so cute. Oh my gosh, I love the otters. They're so fun. Oh my gosh, okay. I need to stay focused though on our house here, but this is what we have so far. As I started working on adding the floor to the interior, I kind of realized that I made this too short. I want there to be at least 3 full blocks of oak, so I have to raise up my entire roof by at least 1 block. Excuse you. Oh no, I need to find a cow. All right, come here, buddy. Thank you. Perfect. Now, one thing I was thinking of doing is we could actually make some mangrove couches, but we need a lime cushion, some wool, and obviously some planks. And I also liked the idea of potentially making ourselves a fancy bed, but we also need a sheet. So we just need wool for that, but for the pillows, we need to get some feathers and some wool. So we're gonna quickly go side questing for chickens and sheep. Oh, hi, buddy. You're not the critter I had in mind, but you're adorable. And instead of just looking for enough chickens and sheep to unalive to get my exact resources, I decided to spend time leading over all of the animals to my base so that I could work on breeding them up instead. But as I was editing me moving the animals with replay mod, I noticed fresh animations is not very compatible with replay mod, and the animals started acting a little bit goofy, so I hope you enjoy this goofy montage. All right, we didn't get a chicken, but we have all of our animals in their pens, and I'd say that is pretty successful. Did it take us basically 3 days? Yes, but now we don't need to go looking for them once we actually build the animal barn. Now, the next thing that I want to do is actually start working on our mining entrance so that we can hopefully get some diamond tools so my iron ones stop breaking. And we are gonna add the retaining wall right in here. And we'll also quickly harvest all our sugarcane and harvest some of our crops that have fully matured. We'll also breed up all the cows for leather, you know, for enchanting table purposes. Now, looking at this in free cam, I was kind of looking and realizing that once I add the walls, the front of the build isn't going to have a lot of space, and I would like there to be a decent amount of walking space around this. So I think I want to shave off at least 2 layers of dirt, maybe 3. Then we'll add our walls, and then we're going to spend some time digging down to diamond level. So as I got to work peeling back the layers of dirt and stone and then starting to texture up and build up our retaining wall and the walls of our mining outpost, I then started hearing a strange sound that I was pretty sure was a backpack mob. So of course I had to go on a side quest to locate the mob, which unfortunately for me, it ended up being a creeper above me, so after luring it out into the open, I carefully took it out and got a backpack as a reward. And look at this, now we can do all of our mining for diamonds and we can keep a cleaner inventory. And then this is gonna be our staircase, so let's just start digging our way down all the way to deep slate, which will take us a while. So let's see how long this takes. And as we mined our way down, I mined directly into a spider nest biome from the Biomes of Plenty mod, but instead of running away, I gathered up my courage and gathered up some iron and other resources that were down in the spider nest biome before I changed directions in my tunnel and started continuing to dig down till I finally hit deep slate and spend the next bit of time strip mining for diamonds. Which, even though I didn't have the best of luck, after some time I did finally find a little pocket of diamonds, found some other resources, and found a second pocket of diamonds. Alright, I poked around a bit more looking for more diamonds, but didn't have any such luck. And just to kind of give you a little free cam point of view, this is what I was doing so far for digging around. And I think we're gonna just call it good. Now, as far as what we're gonna do for the rest of our mining outpost, I want to fill the roof with a bunch of deep slate variants, and then we're going to use mangrove for the roof trim. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna craft up some chests, drop off all of the deep slate that we were able to collect, and then I'm going to work on getting all of the blocks needed for our roof. And real quick, we've got copper, we've got our backpack, so we can upgrade the backpack. So real quick, I'm curious, we have 3 slots, so now we can kind of know how many more we're getting. There we go, 2 more slots, not too shabby. And with the deep slate roof on the outpost, I started decorating the interior a bit. I also made the tunnel down to deep slate go a bit quicker with adding some stairs. I then did even more decorating of the mining outpost by adding some beams to the interior and glass for windows. I then made an awning of mangrove, added some planter boxes to the exterior. I harvested some cherry wood to craft the cherry trapdoors to go with the flower boxes and added the flowers inside them. I then added the last bits of glass before heading to bed. On day 32, I crafted my very first diamond pickaxe and a bucket to go collect some obsidian for the enchanting table. But first I harvested my wheat, potatoes, and carrots to have some food for my travels, as well as breeding up the cows to get more leather for the bookshelves. Alright, I wanted to take a break and look for some lava pools, but so far these are all just a 1 source block. I did, however, notice a volcano, so I think just for the fun of it, let's go and find us a volcano. I also just realized I forgot to bring a bed, so hello sheepy, how you doing? And then for whatever reason, this sheep never actually regrew their wool, so I stayed up throughout the night just wasting time staring at a sheep, hoping they'd regrow their wool for me to finally have a bed, but instead I finally gave up and just started collecting the obsidian during the night. I had to deal with the mob, but for the most part we collected up our obsidian until the sun came up on day 33. As I started walking home, I heard some very strange sounds, which turned out to be another backpack creeper with the creepiest music disc I've ever heard, and after trying to get it to follow me up, I got a little too close and it exploded. So I missed out on a second backpack, but I was happy to at least not have that creepy music disc playing anymore. And after that creepy moment with the music disc and the creeper, we grabbed a bunch of different feathers from chickens so that we could finish our couch and our interior with our fancy bed. Once back home, I dyed the gray sheep white, collected up the wool, and crafted some fancy pillows and sheets. And there we go. We got some pink cherry wood with the mahogany, which perfectly matches our mahogany and cherry we have on the exterior too. I then took a leather and wool collecting break and dyed my couches pink to match my pink bed. Next, I want to make some chairs, and I want to have a table. So we can go like so we have a place to eat. Actually, I'm kind of thinking, what if we put our couches and our kitchen table in the opposite spots and we swap it? Okay, and then... yeah, I like that. I like how it's kind of just a tucked away kitchen nook, and I think I'm going to center it. I think that will fill the space up even nicer. And we'll do chair, table, chair. Yeah, I like that. It's like a little kitchenette nook. Much better. Now, since I just grabbed some leather, I'm thinking we make some more bookshelves and try to get as close as we possibly can to getting a full enchanting setup, because I would love to be able to do that. And I think that's one of the next builds that I want to work on is the enchanting setup. So that's also why I want to get the bookshelves figured out. So we'll just try like so. And now we have 13, so we're getting closer. I then organized my chests and brought everything inside my house and thought about my enchanting setup build plan as I went on another leather collecting spree. Alright, as I was actually thinking more about my enchanting setup and having a nice little build over here, I kind of got to thinking, what if instead we had the enchanting table in a little gazebo in the middle, and then we can have a little dock kind of going into the middle here. We'll have some walkways and bridges branching out to all of our other builds. Obviously, we won't be adding a bridge right here because this is actually going to be a bridge itself, but I think this could be really cute. So what we have to do is first figure out where the center of this lake is. So we're going to grab some oak because we are going to be building out of oak wood. So we'll grab a bunch of oak, and I want it to be centered kind of from this middle bit right here. So if I take this and then we go maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So then this would be the center. Or maybe, here, let's just clean up this instead, actually. And we'll move this down 1, 4, and 5. So then this will be the center. So all we have to do is take a bunch of these oak planks. And we're just gonna start building all the way across. And just like that, not only do we have the docks complete, but our gazebo is complete and it looks so cute. Like, look at this view. We have a gap here because we're going to create a bridge so that I'm able to boat in and out. But this looks so cool. And on the map, in case you're curious, this is what it looks like. I love the shape. And for whatever reason, it kind of reminds me of playing in Skyblock, just with creating this specific shape. I don't know why, just perfectly symmetrical. That's what it reminded me of. But this is what it looks like. We've got glowberries. We've got all of the azalea. I got a spore blossom. which adds the most beautiful particles, but I think this turned out so good. We've got our barrel with our lapis here, and around the backside is where I moved our waystone. It was just a perfect little spot there. But even though for you just saw a nice little time-lapse montage, we did do quite a few little breaks to collect more resources, go and locate a lush cave, collect more iron, and we found a mine shaft where we were able to find 2 different minecart chests, which was able to give us a second backpack. So even though it looked like this took us no time at all, it actually took us quite a bit of time, but I think this looks good, and it is time to sleep on day 52. The next build I want to do is going to be for our animals, so they're not just half sitting on our docks. So we're going to go and create a little animal barn for them all so I can move them, and we are actually going to move them right on this other side right here, across from where they're currently located, and kind of bury them into this mountainside. But of course, we're going to clear out some land and create a little retaining wall. And during this whole process, I actually went through 2 diamond shovels and used the very last diamond creating that second shovel. So we're going to have to go back into the mines for some resource collecting of stone, as well as getting some better tools and hopefully some more diamonds. First, we'll collect up a bunch of stone so we can create the retaining wall. And we went down into our diamond level to see if we could find any diamonds, but after digging through a few different tunnels, we decided to cut our losses and head back to the surface. Luckily, we did have some iron that was smelting up, so we were able to at least get some iron tools going, even if we couldn't get our diamond tools. Now, in the process of building up our gazebo and getting all the resources, like more mangrove, when we were in the mangrove swamp, I did actually come across a zombie spawner, and since we have our lovely little enchanting setup, I think I want to quickly run over to the mangrove forest and set up a makeshift zombie spawner with some campfires to get them to take the most damage, and then we can just do the final one tap, because I'm not about to spend my time setting up an entire zombie XP farm. So once we were back at the zombie XP farm, I started setting up the farm with the water buckets, dealing with an undead guest, and continuing to get it set up until we had it started, and it seemed to be working pretty okay. But of course, nothing can go smoothly setting up farms, so of course I ran into the issue of not many spawning and them getting stuck. So I went back to tweaking and changing the farm to increase the spawn rates by digging it down even lower. And yes, I did make sure to take out that final torch that I had left in there, which actually did increase the spawn rates a lot. So then I spent the next bit of time collecting up enough levels till I felt like I had enough to go home to do some enchanting. Well, it's pretty fun. We got a third backpack, and this one's gigantic. So we literally have one of each. We have a copper and a gold and a regular backpack. This is actually so funny, just the different sizes of backpacks. I love this mod, but what I want to do is let's add in a crafting table behind here, and we will make ourselves a new pickaxe. And let's see, efficiency 4 and unbreaking 3, love that. And then let's try this one, also the same enchants. I will take it. All right, we got enough levels for the shovel, so we've got Unbreaking, Fortune, not the best, but I will gladly take Unbreaking 3 and Efficiency 4. So now, let's go terraform and carve out space for an animal barn. And now we've got all of our animals in their barn, and I think it's great. I also added a spore blossom into here so we can have all of the lovely vibes, but this looks so good. I scattered some hay bales and some of the goldenrods and barley around to fit the windmill, barn, animal barn kind of vibes, and I really like this. I also added this room that our animals are exploring, but it's just got some beams and it's got some barrels, but I still need to put a roof on the place. So I was kind of procrastinating on that since I'd rather get the animals all moved over, but look how much better this looks over here, just not having all of the animal pens, half on our docks, and now this actually looks so cute and so complete now that we actually have the animals in there. But now we gotta figure out what we want to do for the top of this thing. So let's just figure out a block palette. I'm thinking we will do a similar style to what the barn roof is made of and do mangrove and deep slate. So let me just grab some pillaring blocks and add on that roof. And when I stand back, this is what our roof looks like. And if we go up into free cam, you can see the top of it even better, but I think this looks really nice. I did invert what we did on the main barn roof color-wise, and I think this looks so good. Now, the next thing that I want to do is work on the other side of our little enchanting gazebo. I want to start working on our duck enclosure, and I figured that having this area right here is perfect because we can have a pond where all of our little ducks can hang out. Unfortunately, with the duck mod that I added, I have learned that if I try to let them just float around on the surface of the water like the little otters are, they just sink and stay under the water. So I'm gonna put the ducks inside the enclosure in a fenced in area so they don't walk off the edge and just stay under the water. But if I go out into free cam, I'm thinking we create a little floating dock house enclosure, and then we'll make a little bridge path, and then I'm thinking we'll add some cattails to here. I think I want to close this off fully because I can't remember which backpack it's in, but when we were in the lush cave, we were able to get a little axolotl, so I don't want them getting lost way down in there, so that's the other thing I'm going to do. And who knows, maybe we'll go back down into the lush cave to get a few more axolotls, so we have some more friends running around in the water besides our otters. But for now, we need to clear space in our inventory, swap out the build blocks, and get started working on a duck enclosure. All right, now that I have these capture cells, I want to go on a little adventure to start slowly but surely bringing some ducks over. So what we're gonna do is, first and foremost, we are going to sleep in our bed, and then we will go over to the mangrove because the swamp is right nearby. Okay, we're in the swamp, and there we go. Look at the little dogs wagging their little tails. Oh, they're so cute. Okay. So I just shift right click and shift right click. There we go. We got ducks and we got the advancement, capture a mob using a capture cell. And now we go home, come back here, get more ducks until I have, I don't know, at least like 6 to 8. I think that should be good. So let's just do this back and forth thing. All right, I'm going to make a little waystone spot so that we can easily get back to the swamp once we collect up our little duck friends. All right, we've got our 6 little ducks in here. I don't want it to be too cramped for them, so I think I'm gonna leave this as is so they can be swimming in their little puddle and they can just enjoy sunbathing. And I think this is so cute. I love the giant cattails, our little ducks. The other thing that I wanted to do is add a little bit of bone meal. I don't have a whole lot, but I always think that adding bone meal into the ground surrounding ponds makes it always look better. And then backing out into free cam, this is our little duck enclosure on the roof. I also added a little orange and yellow flower so that from our map, you can see a flower on the roof with the greenery, and I think it's so cute. I love how you can actually see the little white and yellow ducks. I think that's adorable. But this is what we have so far and I think this is coming along nicely. There's still a lot of space that we need to fill in between things, and I think that I actually want to add a bunch of wheat fields alongside the barn. So I'm thinking that in between this spot here and along here, we'll collect up all of our wheat seeds and then start getting some nice farms growing and putting back all of our carrots, potatoes, and wheat. But before we do that, we'll sleep through the night. As you can see by my tools, my enchanted shovel and axe did break, so all I have left is the pickaxe. So we are actually gonna go quickly collect up some more levels from the mangrove so that terraforming can go a whole lot quicker and we can get more building done in a less amount of time. Because we're on day 78 and I still got a lot of building I want to do. But first, I got some slicing and dicing to do. Now for my next project, we're going to need a lot of spruce wood and a lot more than we actually have in our inventory because this is pretty much all that I have left. So we're gonna spend some time getting a bunch of spruce wood. Let's see if starting at the top makes a difference, and it doesn't seem that it does. Oh, there we go. Okay, yep, that worked. And as for our bridge, I want the incline of the bridge to go up a half slab by half slab, just enough so that I can fit my boat underneath here. I also think that I'm going to use my shovel and dig more of this out as well, just so we have a deeper riverway that we can go under the bridge with. But I do want to clear all of the sand away and just have this be all of the grass instead. I also want this bridge to be pretty wide, so I'm kind of thinking that we'll bring the bridge kind of right to where this grass block is. So we do need to do a lot of terraforming of this area right here and remove all of this. And I want this to be grass instead of sand. So we'll start with some terraforming. And we officially have a cozy, lush bridge to help us get from one side of our lake base to the other if we don't want to go around the enchanting, and I think this is so great. I'm really glad that I decided to take the time to get it centered with the enchanting table because it definitely looks way better on the map this way. Next thing I want to do is carve out a layer just so that this can be a more deep waterway and not look like it's just a shallow little pond we're swimming over. And I need to move my bed because I'm getting chased. Should I pick it up even? Oh no, I didn't even pick it up. Oop, okay, we're just going to go home. They can have that side of the bridge. It's fine. I'll light it up later. That's a future red problem. But I can sleep in a cozy, warm bed tonight. And after a good night's sleep, we are just collecting up some wheat so I can make some fresh bread so that we have enough energy to keep building. And now we've got the energy from our food to continue terraforming this riverbed a bit more. Now that the bridge is done, the next thing I want to do is start working on a fishing hut, and I also want to incorporate some of the fish from the tide mod that I have noticed are just down in the depths in our little water pit here. And we have a few different variations, and I'm thinking I'll collect some of them in buckets and we can make a glass floor, and then we can look down at all of our little guys that we have down here. Now, as far as placement, I want to have the fishing hut be here, and instead of having my axolotl be with the ducks, I'm thinking that we instead give them a little house next to the fishing hut, and we'll do the same kind of thing where the axolotl will be underneath us in a glass floor so we can look down and always say hi to our little friend. Because it is day 90 and it is time for our little friend to finally have a house of their own, and we are naming this axolotl Lemon. If you know, you know, but I don't have enough iron to name the bucket of axolotl, so I might end up using one of the name tags that I acquired instead. Now, going out into FreeCam, what I'm gonna do is carve and terraform some of this back so that we have enough space to add in the fishing house, And then we'll also add our axolotls house over here. Then if I also turn around and go back over to the duck enclosure, I also want to add a little otter enclosure and sanctuary here, but I want it to be very open concept because they tend to like to roam about a lot. But before we do that, it is time for bed before we have any unwanted guests spot us. And it is very nice to have the fanciest cozy bed to sleep in every night. And on a fresh day, let's start terraforming and building up a fishing hut. All right, we've got our little fishing house set up for all of the fish that we're gonna catch in buckets from down in the hole, deep down in the water. As for our axolotl, I left this open because I actually do want to go and get a second axolotl, so our little yellow one has a friend. But first things first, let's go look for fish underneath our enchanting setup. And hopefully, aha, we have some variety. So we got a glowing fish. We've got a, what are these things? A cave crawler. I need to get some magma to get my air bubbles back. I think we're also gonna pick up those two because those are the iron ones and they are actually very fun to have. They're just so small. All right, we've got 4 fish and this will be round 1. We'll probably do 2 rounds of collecting all the different fish types. So round 1. Oh, wait, I haven't had these ones before. Hang on, I'm almost curious. Wait, I want you. I take it back. I haven't even seen you. A smallmouth bass. Ooh, that's fun. And we'll grab the other one. And we can just add the fishies into our fish tank. And look at this. We've got the small fries right on the edge. That's perfect. And let's go deeper down and see what else we can find. Oh, there's an eel. An eel would be cool. A cave eel bucket. I like it. All right, cave crawler, iron tetra, 2 of those, and the cave eel. Fancy. Cool. Okay, well, I say we have our little friends all ready. So this is all complete for our flooring, but look how cool it is. We can see all of our little fun fishies. And the next step is to actually finish working on the interiors of the fishing hut and the axolotl house. Now we also have these fish displays, and I think it would be kind of cool if we had some little fish displays. So I think what I'll do is we'll create some shelves with the oak trap doors, and then we'll have these be displayed on our walls. So we can do some like so on the back wall. And let's see if this zombie follows me down to collect up some. Oh my gosh, look at all these cave crawlers. There's so many of them. Okay, we'll get a cave crawler or 2. We'll grab an eel. Oh, there's the zombie. I want some of these iron guys, but they're so hard to grab. I don't want to drown. Okay. Now, oh, that skeleton does not seem pleasant. That is a powerful dude, but they have a backpack. I don't need another backpack. I have 3. I always get so distracted by the backpacks. It's so funny. Hi, buddy. We're trying to put some cute fish on the wall that we've caught, so please leave us alone. A cave crawler. They kind of look like a little plushie. I kind of like those ones. That's so fun. All right, and then we'll go grab something else that's different. But first, let's go to bed before anything else finds us. The morning zombie flambe. How exciting. Now, my only concern is that I have a skeleton down here somewhere, don't I? Did they die? They're gone? I'll take that, but okay, interesting. Yep, they're bluegills. We don't need to be as scared as I thought we did. And da-da-da-da. I mean, really, that looks like a piranha to me more than anything, but I'll take it. You know, either way, that's still fun to have a little fishy hanging. And let's put another one over here, and we'll do the other bluegill. Now, as far as builds go, there's only one more that I wanted to make sure that I get built, and that is an enclosure for our otters, which is going right over here behind the ducks and by the crop fields. But of course, before we can start building, we gotta terraform. And in classic Red fashion, I'm once again getting distracted by wanting to also make sure that by the time we hit day 100, we've got our entire wheat field actually filled in with all of the seeds. So we're taking a little planting break. And I've just been doing this periodically in between building things just to save time, and you don't need to keep looking at the exact same thing a bunch of different times. So in case you're wondering, wow, how did all of a sudden all of those wheat fields just pop up out of nowhere? It's because I've been planting in between things. Because a fully grown wheat field is definitely gonna look the best with our windmill. And for that reason alone, we plant. All right, the seeds are all planted, so this should be able to grow in over the next few days and be fully grown by the time we hit day 100. But now we're going to terraform, and we're going to push back the ground probably to where this little white flower is, the oxydaisy. So this is what it's gonna look like, and we're going to level it down flat to where we have our crops. And now we just terraform. All right, after sleeping through the night, we are on day 99, one more day in this world, and honestly, I am very impressed by how many builds and fun things I've been able to do. Okay, let's just go this way, guys, and pretend that they're not gonna see us. Let's stay on this side of things for a little bit. Yeah, let me just show you the back of the build. Wow, isn't it so cool and so pretty? Oh, they're in the water. Okay, nice. Taking a bath. Don't need to interrupt them.
A few moments later.
They're in the cow pen! Look at them! They're in my cow pen? Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay, that's good to know. Gotta be careful of that while I wait for them to despawn. Actually, I just was gonna walk past them, but I don't want them accidentally shooting my animals, so we're just gonna be sneaky and go around to chop down this spruce tree. And then I figured we can add some little sunbathing rocks and little rocks for them to climb around inside the enclosure in. So we'll add some on the exterior and interior. I'll also use some of the tuff that we got from our deep slate mining for diamonds. And I think we definitely need to have some of the mossy stone in here as well. I also want there to be a little bit more of a walkway out into the pond, like so. And I love the more slabs and stairs mod because we can make dirt stairs, which makes it so much easier to make a gradual incline down into the pond. And we've got creepers around, so we're going to sleep before they see us. And just like that, we are officially on day 100, guys. We did it. We survived. We stayed alive. Even with the creepers roaming around, we made it, and we made it the most beautiful base on a lake ever. Now, there are still a few little details. I want to not have him see me. I want to fix this little awning to match the one we have here. So even though it is day 100, there's still a few more details that I want to work on. And yes, the pillagers are still inside our animal pen, so I'm gonna steer clear of that. As for those little fixes around the base, we're gonna fix some of these awnings. We finished up the last few awnings by adding the finishing touches of lanterns attached to the mossy stone walls. We then spent some time building up some docks for our boats to anchor at while they're coming to visit our little village on a lake. And with all of the different builds completed around our base area, I am proud to say that we are done with our lake base. I managed to make a cozy starter house, a mining outpost, enchanting enchanting gazebo, animal barn, duck sanctuary, fishing hut, a house for axolotls, an overgrown bridge, and an otter sanctuary, all within 100 days. Sure, my armor still consists of pink leather and iron, but for the amount of builds I was able to get done, I'd say that was a pretty good trade-off. And I would love to know what your favorite build was, so comment below your favorite build of this lake village, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone!